the party's reputation because of Samuel Twe. There are others who say, man, one is important. We don't care.
Whoever goes down.
There's the Kun factor there.
Okay, so, the Kun factor. In response, you said Kun said he told the justices and other concerns that winning election is more important for the government than protecting the rule of law. This is something
that is it.
You talking about?
But there's no surprise.
You say something that about the vice president. Is that why he said?
But there's no surprise. The vice president was behind the removal of the speaker. But that's the removal of the speaker. We have moved speakers before, right? And who? Eric Snow.
Yes. Snow.
And Alex Tyler.
Yes.
So the removal of the speaker was not the thing for me, because speakers have been removed. The disrespect of the Supreme Court's decision was the thing. So as far as I'm concerned, the budget that was passed was illegal and was treasonous. And those who passed that budget will one day face justice.
We'll go for a break in 1 second, and then we will come back. We are talking to former Minister of Finance and Development, Samuel Twe Jr., and today is something like no holds bars. We haven't even got it started yet, and the place is already getting hot. We are talking about the Vice President involvement, grave allegations here against the Vice President. And so let's go for a musical break. 1 minute, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds, and then... Okay. Tell the people, I don't want nobody to come inside again. Yeah, thank you very much. We are back with Samuel Twe Jr., former Minister of Finance and Development. So let me read one more from, we all writing about the Vice President. I'm interested because Vice President holds a very important office, and allegation against him. There are some people who your critics say you're scared of Kun because he has Nima, in his backyard, and so you guys are doing everything to politically destroy him. But this is what you said. My intelligence informs me that the final decision was handed by Judge Figure last Thursday. So you Samuel, you are saying yesterday was not the...
There was a stalemate in the government. There was still the faction that said, we were the one who disregarded the Supreme Court opinion.
So this article was just an early morning you were putting out.
I was putting it out there.
Did you think anybody listened to it?
What? Oh no, the country listened to it. A senator called my brother yesterday. I'm not calling him. And there are people saying I called people names the last time. George or Ben Sambi. There's no secrecy there for me to protect. There's no confidentiality. But when a senator called my brother to discuss
this is something,
my private thing, it doesn't concern Samuel Twe, and my brother relayed that information to me. I'm now under obligation to release it to the senator. The senator called and said, Norris, I saying place. I said, what is place? But then CDC, President Weah won the poll. President Boakai came second.
We'll get to that. But let me ask you, because you're first time here, my guys here, my audience, they need to know you. Samuel Twe,
economist. I've read history. So I understand where our country has come from, and I got through the public life from the university of politics and all of that. So pretty much that's me. I was a member of the Unity Party in 1997 against the NPP.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, I supported Madam Salib, and then after that, I made in 2000 I went to the States, and so it was in the States that we started thinking about, what is the next direction?
Alternative
for the end of the war. I wasn't going back to the old structure. So I did a brief stint with Councillor Winston Topman, and then we fell off. And then McGill was leading. I remember calling, I think it was Thomas Nah, my friend, and I called McGill. I said, listen, I don't think I'm going to be with you guys. Oh, you like to be too emotional. Oh, you can't, there was something happening in Minnesota, and I broke ranks with the Topman camp, and then one day I was watching C-SPAN, and then I saw Denzel Washington describe
Yeah.
Ambassador George Manuel Weah.
Oh, at that program, I think I watched that video.
Yeah, and then he described in a way that we knew the man. We used to go ask him for money, and he wasn't Nigeria. We knew him, but to see Denzel describe him in a way that we Liberians had not appreciated, it was moving to me.
Yeah.
Like all my friend James Collier say, I mean, put your TV on, go to C-SPAN. You're looking at the next president of the Republic of Liberia.
Oh, that's very incredible.
But that's getting me to that political thing. But I'm a family man. I'm married to this great woman called Delisha Berry Tware. My wife, while I was in the States, I came from 2005 election. I met this dazzling beauty, but beauty with character as well. So I was fascinated that how do you combine beauty and character? Sometimes it's a rare combination to have extremely beautiful girl and then with character.
Yeah,
So
it's dicey, you know.
It attracted me,
Yes.
and then I went back.
And you seem to be the luckiest.
I went back to the States, and then we hooked up, and then I was in the States trying to micromanage her here. Why in the States? I mean, McGill can tell the story. I mean, I will call McGill. I mean, I'll be on the, Lone Star has a ringtone. That ringtone when it's off, I don't know whether they still have it. Bum 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 bum. That tune almost killed me in America. I think I bought around $3,500 worth of scratch cards.
Wow.
Trying to micromanage my wife here. I don't want nobody to touch my girlfriend. Nobody. And so I would tell her phone can never go off. So when the phone is off,
I can see a jealous son.
she's in trouble.
You're not jealous, but you don't like the.
But here's the flip part now. But why now? My wife does the same thing to me, and I'm angry. And she said, "The thing you did to me, now what are you talking about here now?"
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. But we have 6 beautiful children, 5 girls. 5 girls.
You've been working hard, a lot, man.
Boy.
Yeah.
Between 2012,
You are your father's son, man.
between 2012 and the last one, I think, is 2026. So 6 children, yeah. Between the
So Sam, I mean, I'm really fascinated about the situations that are engulfing you. When you wake up in the morning, you stare children in the face. What do they say to you about all of this that is happening? What question do they ask you? What do your friends say to you?
I mean,
And your critics.
I mean, my wife, I tell her, you're married to a political figure. And when you're married to a politician, you have to expect anything. I tell my big daughter that. I said, listen, your dad is a politician. When you're a politician, when people have power, they can abuse power. And they can go after political targets. So your pa can go to jail, the pa can get killed. Anything can happen to a politician who is presumed to be powerful, who people fear or dread. Anything can happen to that politician. George Weah, whether it's Nathaniel McGill, whether it's Eugene Namwe, whether it's on the Unity Party side, but any politician risks something happening to him or her. So the good thing now is that, for me, my consolation is that we have fought to carry the country to a point where we practically are not killing one another in terms of physical violence that used to happen before.
Right.
Mass murder, massacre, all those things. For I think this is my happiness. This is why I returned to this country, because we ended autocracy. We'll come there, but I think we're at a point where we can disagree. We can do all the propaganda, but I don't think politicians are going at night looking for a political enemy, shooting them and trying to do
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit better than.
Except now, what's
the
happening
years.
is trying to do now is to weaponize the legal system, which is extremely dangerous. That to weaponize the legal system and go after political opponents in the form of witch hunting. I think that's the phenomenon that's rearing its ugly head, which has to be nipped.
And that's why you are here today
Yeah.
to describe. You made a specific statement that I will be going into shortly. Do you think what is happening to you could easily dissuade your children from pursuing politics? Or what do you say to them that at the end of the day, what kind of choice they can make for public life?
I think, look, my children, all children on the sound of my voice who are in Liberia, who see the politics, I think at the end of the day, this is a great country. We're not allowed evil to persist in the country. There may be a soupçon of evil, wickedness at some time under a regime. But I think the future of Liberia is brighter than we see today.
That's a positive step.
We've taken for granted democracy under President Salif for 12 years because that was the heyday of democracy. We've taken for granted democracy under President. We are another heyday of democracy. So we have two heydays of democratic freedom and pluralism in the country after war. It made me to conclude that the claims about ending autocracy comes from those two experiences.
Right.
Then we bump into President Boakai. And then we begin to see treasonous overreaches in terms of passing a national budget without
Treasonous overreaches.
yeah passing
Look, give me my pen there. Give me my pen
passing
there.
the
Because
national
we have to write too many things here.
passing the national budget
Treasonous
when the
overreach.
Supreme Court had ruled that the majority bloc was illegal. We didn't see those kinds of things, and those are the trappings of autocracy. Then we now see verdict, acquitting verdict being overturned by the system, quote unquote judicial system. So these are overreaches. We see egregious disregard of the opinion of the Supreme Court. Look, let's be honest with you. If the Supreme Court opinion is disregarded by the government,
That call for concerns.
no, but let me make one interesting statement for the people in the Union Party and the government.
Mm-hmm.
The same way this government disregarded the Supreme Court opinion, disrespected it, the government, Samuel Twer, is doing the same thing, disrespecting. In fact, I'm not disrespecting, I am standing up for justice because I will not honor any egregious overturning of a legitimate verdict. So the government rejected the Supreme Court opinion, which was
Right.
illegal. Samuel Twer is rejecting the government's manipulation, which is legitimate. So we in the government I'm in government doing the same thing, except that the government is doing it illegally. I am doing it legally.
And you said you are honored Joseph Boakai's government. All of us are. You said you are not honored Joseph, honor the government. You are honor the Constitution. What difference does that make?
The government is supposed to do the dictates, the whims, the caprices of our Constitution. It's to execute the Constitution. The Constitution says the Supreme Court interprets the law. The government is under the mandate to do that. When the justices of the Supreme Court say this, the government enforces that. That's the law. When the Supreme Court says X and the government says no, Y, we move into anarchy. It's a breakdown of law and order. Effectively, at that point, you can argue that you're under the Constitution. In this case, my case, the Constitution says anybody who's accused by the government, because the government accuses people, the prosecution, the state, anybody who is accused by the government, by the state, by the prosecution, you can choose a judge to try you, or you go for jurors of your peers. 12.
In your case,
my
jurors
case,
of the peers.
I say, listen, I will not choose a judge who can be manipulated, and thank God I never made that choice. I'll go to the Liberian people who would say, listen, 12 persons will decide whether I did what the government said I did. And we went through that process. I was out of this country, and I came back to face my accusers. People said I was running away, I was a fugitive. All kinds of things were said about me. But I'm not a fugitive. I see people on social media telling me, but Mr. Twer, go to trial. Oh, so let me ask these people, 2 years, what have we been doing in the country? What have I been doing? 2 years.
I think you've been on trial.
So I've been prosecuted. I will call that prosecution, PRO. The government has been prosecuting me for 2 years. I bravely came back to the country because I know we have ended autocracy. I'm not afraid of anybody. Nobody's going to kill me. Yeah, you can put me into jail. You can't kill me. But I'm fighting to go to jail, not as a rogue, because I'm not a rogue. That's what you defeat me if you put me in jail as a rogue. If you put me in jail as a freedom fighter, you actually elevate me.
So there's something here I want to get clear. The jurors, the investigation that was conducted by Judge Usman came back and he said that he was giving credence to the report that says some tampering was done. Do you have problem with that? And what is that problem?
I have fundamental problem with that. Even the judge knows there's no temper. He's under political pressure. That's why he's coming up with that ruling. The judge's private opinion is that there's no temper. It's misconduct among jurors. Not sufficient. The judge has said that there's no evidence linking me or any of my lawyers, other defendants or other lawyers, to anything about tampering or misconduct. So the story, the simple story for the Liberian people is that the government did influence some jurors to carry phones on the ground. There's a juror called Catherine who had a phone.
Yeah.
The Solicitor General is in love with, and let me make this one thing with the Solicitor General. I believe the Solicitor General should be disbarred.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe so. That breaking news. I think he should be disbarred.
you want the Solicitor General of Liberia
Because let me show you the evidence.
to be stripped of the license.
Because he planted his girlfriend on the bench. The girlfriend told other jurors that, that's her boyfriend. The forewoman was his girlfriend. To trap Samuel Twe, this forewoman said...
Let's tell the people who the forewoman is.
That
You can either be a foreman or a forewoman.
That the spokesperson
You are the spokesperson for the jurors.
She was very outspoken throughout the trial, this woman. Anytime there was no food on the ground, there was no light, there was health scare, because sometimes they had to carry the jurors to
Yes.
the health care. She would come, the judge would stop the trial, and she would speak for the jurors. So she was very articulate, very forceful, this woman. And the night of the verdict, they asked her, say, is everything okay? Do you have anything to say? Do you sign it? Do you agree with this verdict?
Correct.
That very articulate, outspoken woman who had been speaking through our own problems said, yes, we are okay. Everything okay. The judge looked at me and said, Samuel Twe, leave the prisoner bench. I refused. I'm a selfless guy. I didn't want to leave my friends on the defendant bench. So I said, okay, I will just sit here while we stand it, and I will sit here with you. Then the judge looked at me. I was still on the He said, Samuel Twe, you are a free man. I order you now, leave.
The judge said that.
He said that. He said, you are a free man. You can't remain on the bench. Leave from over there. Go. Leave the court. You're free. Go home. The judge. Now, after he said that, 4 days later, he should have affirmed my verdict, saying the law said he has only 4 days.
Yeah.
He can't see 4 days. Then we started. Then 4 days after that, about 9 days or so after the verdict, we started hearing that jurors who have been disbanded, released outside to the world, where they can talk to their boyfriend, their children, the government, the media, the prosecution, the defendant. They can talk to anybody outside now. Then they come back. 3 of them came back, 2 of whom voted against me, said I was guilty. Came and said, we filing complaint.
Okay, let's get a step clear for our people.
Right.
I'd like you to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
The jurors,
Mm-hmm.
3 of the jurors voted against you, right?
Yeah.
And 2 were those who made a complaint and said there was a tampering.
Yeah. No, they basically came and said, I have phone. I who say Samuel Twe guilty. I have phone.
But after they voted against you,
That's correct. When
they came by and said, I was one of those who have
after they voted, they were standing. The judge asked them everything okay. Do you certify? You okay with the verdict? Any problem? They said no problem. We okay.
Okay.
We are told that when the forewoman was going, even though she said she okay, she was crying on the bus. She was going home crying. Wow, not guilty. But she didn't see anything wrong to call and say, but she was crying. Now they went to her and said, I cried. The fire went to her and said, listen, you got to go back over there, call the other people. You go, because right now my job is at stake. The government going to fire me, everything. So my life is going to be messed. So I want you all to go back. Let's destroy this whole thing so I can be free. So that was the thing they cooked up in the 9-10 days period. And then they came back. So they come back and tell the judge, listen, Judge, actually, we came back because I have phone under the place there. And on my phone, I voted against Samuel Twe. I said he was guilty, but I'm the one who had the phone. And on that phone there, on top on it. So I confessing myself, bringing myself through your, even though you're so much have phone, but we have phone.
This basis of this self-confession,
That's correct.
non-comparing confession, that the investigation was instituted.
That's correct.
Now the investigation says everybody, all the jurors go to jail. You go back to retrial.
Thank you, my friend.
To go to
So,
retrial.
okay, listen, I've told the country already. As I'm explaining this jury process, there is no basis for retrial, because if somebody who say I am not guilty, This person was trying to influence the other 9 jurors. The 4 woman was on that place to influence the other 9 jurors to go against Samuel Twe. They failed. Those 9 jurors were basically in a public financial management classroom. I can tell you that. Even the people who voted against me, there was a guy from GSE Audit who's now in jail, an innocent guy who probably went, voted against me. But I would tell you that guy understood everything I said. When he went to the investigation, you know what they asked him? They asked him, the vote you cast against Samuel Twe, you convinced? You said yes. I'm convinced of the vote I cast. I gave my vote. Then they said, do you see any temporary, did you see anything? He said, let me tell you something. If I have seen, I'm a reverend. If I have seen something, I was going to bring it up. We saw nothing under there. This trial was absolutely fair. That was his testimony. That man is sitting in jail now. He's very frustrated, I imagine. What kind of country am I in? I'm a juror. I went to do my service. I voted against the man. Then how can a friend then come back and say they have phone? I never saw any phone. Nobody influenced our vote. Just because somebody have phone under the place, and the girl who said I voted against Samuel Twe also said, I never talked to Samuel Twe. I never talked to any of her lawyer. None of us juror talked to any lawyer. So they phone Belair, well, you're talking to our children, the mosquito eating there. We just say, okay, we'll be okay. That thing. So it's technically misconduct among jurors. Doesn't amount to overturning a verdict. But when the Barker and Kuhn administration looking for CDC's destruction, looking for pathways towards 2029, you will break the law and do anything. And when you're a solicitor general whose life, whose politics on the line. So here's my point. I wanted to tell Liberian people: let Cellcom and Lone Star trace the phone number of Fayad and the 4 women as far back as 1 year. They will see Fayad and the woman talking connection. So that's the investigation the government is supposed to do. And on that basis, they can disband him because...
And those should have been reasons for the rejection of any juror if you have any connection with prosecution or defendant. And none of your lawyer didn't go to them.
I don't know that. I rejected a lot of people. I rejected a lot of people from serving over there because I believe when I look at them, when we asked them, I wasn't certified. I rejected them. The 4 woman, I heard she was with Ministry of Health. She looked mature. Most of the jurors were young. We also wanted a mix of mature. Even the guy with the GSE audit, my lawyer looked at me and said, listen, Samuel, there was no audit done on you. The basis for all these things, Justice Kabah, during the Supreme Court hearing, Justice Kabah said the basis for charging people that audit. So you can look at a newspaper story and just talk about it. Was there an audit done, national security audit? They said no. So Councillor Johnson said, if we are arguing about audit, it would be good to have an auditor. So I said, okay, I cleared that. So that's how that auditor, but the auditor voted against me, voted against everybody, including the 4 women. The 4 women was, in fact, the 4 women was not over there for the trial. Her votes were because of harmonization and because she said I had her son or somebody administrative finance, something I know anything about. I told you all of the Ospoon, the only person I moved from Ministry of Finance was Moali. My friend Moali.
Okay. Let me be clear. Did you talk to any of it?
Absolutely. I have nothing to do.
Did you wish to talk to any
Nothing. Listen, I told you those children were in public financial. I was convinced from the University of Liberia. When you put me in front of people, I was trained at the University of Liberia to convince human beings. That's where I got my Palava training from. I never used to go to class. I skipped classes, so I have a skill in convincing people. Those jurors were convinced by my arguments. I showed them to triangular authority. And when I looked down, I saw 3 jurors drawing a triangle of the Minister of Finance authority. I told my lawyer, I said, the children, they can never convict me. So on the sheer monstrosity of my argument, for 1 week,
the monstrosity
of the argument, the clarity, the efficacy of the argument that I made to the juror, they were sold. It was not money, it was nothing else. It was just the simple fact that how can this man be the Minister of Finance? How can people target? And I also explained to them my targeting. I also explained to them the Steve Zago situation, how Steve Zago was fired because he couldn't arrest me.
Yeah.
I have to explain to them how the Minister of Information, Jeremy Pia, lied that I was under Interpol wanted me from Ivory Coast. I explained that story to them. I explained to them how I had to escape from my house. And some of them were moved emotionally. So my testimony to the jury was intellectual and conceptual. It was also emotional. Because they saw a man and his family being chased for nothing. And I told them the Steve Zago story. And now I tell a story, then I said, forget about Steve Zago. There was a guy at the front of the police entrance. The police have mounted said you arrest him just before you go to the court. And this story I explained this story to the jury. I said, when I was in my brother's car to the place, the security went to my driver and said, I want to see who's behind the car. He said, put the glass behind down. So the guy put the glass down. He saw me. He said, oh, that man was looking for you in the car. Then he wanted to go to his boss. But before he got to his boss, maybe about 10 seconds before, my brother put his glass down, and then the boss said, oh, no, this is Councilor Norris' toy car. Let it go. Bam, they open the gate. By the time he reached to his boss, he said, no, that car there has Mr. Toy inside. Then the police started running behind the car, but I was already under the jurisdiction of the court. And so my lawyer came and collected me. That security officer who allowed the car to pass was dismissed or was reassigned. So two persons now. Steve Zago affected because he couldn't arrest me. And Zago's argument was that this man is coming to face justice. As a Republican say, when you are leaving the country, you know a little bit about law. You've been with immigration people. So when you're coming to the country, you come and face justice. I can't arrest you. I ain't got no
arrest.
The people say, see, Zago know too much law. Maybe too much that you have money for the government. That's how they remove that man over there. They even accuse him that say I gave him $500,000 US for him not to arrest me. Can you imagine that kind of criminal law? The other poor man was reassigned for my business. So I don't know. This is a lot of people.
There are so many investigators that were into this thing here. Did Samuel influence anybody by money, by enemies?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
Let's go to back to the case that we were talking about, the judge.
Yes.
But before we go to the judge, you made a statement against the vice president. You think the vice president was directly involved with the jury tampering? Let it go all the way up. They shouldn't be around here. You said the vice president was involved with the dark hands behind the door to ensure that this jury tampering turned against you. Do you still believe that?
I don't think so. I know that.
You know that.
I know that. When I met the vice president when he came, but I didn't take that remark serious. He said,
let me read a little bit of it.
Yeah.
This is what you said. And let the people hear. You said breaking. Vice President Jeremiah Cohn has instructed Judge Usman Fega to overturn the verdict of acquittal on a bogus and serious allegation of jury misconduct. Though the judge finds no evidence. You said that earlier the judge found no evidence. How so sure that judge found no evidence? Did he talk to you?
The judge in a ruling. The judge saying there's no evidence linking in his ruling yesterday. There's no evidence linking me or my lawyers to anything about misconduct, any phone thing. There's phone, but there's no evidence to trace us, so he doesn't have any evidence. But despite that, and he also told my brother that, and he also said that yesterday. But we're not linked to anything about Chapel. But
so on what basis is he going to reorder a
because he's politically influenced by Cohn and Samuel Kofi Woods. I've also put his name into it now. Kofi Woods is involved in this as well. All of them, they're all involved. Ujiba and Cage, the Bwaka people, they're all manipulating this thing. That's
Kofi Woods should be your friend.
Kofi Woods is a disappointment from the progressive community. Some of the reasons why we turn against Charles Taylor, let me tell you that. When we're young people, we're impressionable. Some of the factors that move us against Charles Taylor, he was with the Justice and Peace Commission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
For me, in the Liberian Civil War, the side I took, let me be clear, I took the Amos Sawyer side. I'm on Amos Sawyer's aficionado. Yeah, Dr. Sawyer, when he used to be on radio, he talked to us. When you go home, look at your son. He made it look like the MPFA was devouring, and it's true. Bombs were coming in to destroy us. So we were in the Monrovia Enclave, were resisting, along with ECOMOG. So that's my thing. So Kofi Woods, when he took over the Peace and Justice Commission, he was raining human rights abuses against Charles Taylor, and we saw Taylor as a monster. Kofi Woods as this icon of
Yes.
peace and
The
justice,
burial of Church
along
of
with working with Archbishop Michael Francis. He sits along the president right now, and this is serious. Let the country listen to me.
Mhm.
He sits with President Boakai right now, and we see the most grievous constitutional overreaches happening. He's saying nothing. So what is about political power?
The man is an advisor. What do you
He's a
expect
national
of
security advisor. He should not allow Steve Zako to go. He should tell the president, Mr. President, you cannot dismiss Steve Zako because he failed to arrest Samuel Twe. Mr. President, I'm a national security advisor, but I'm also a lawyer. We can't dismiss Steve Zako, Mr. President. I love you, but let's protect this country. That should be the bidding.
But is it not true that he advances and the president takes or rejects?
I don't think so. That's why he tells Steve. I don't think so. If he's strong enough, the president will listen. All of them. Listen, if we want Samuel Twe, Mr. President, we can't destroy the judicial system because of Samuel Twe. There was a consensus in the government discussion. Since I came on my previous post, paused the judge ruling. The judge told my brother he was about to rule, but then he was rethinking, and the government itself was rethinking. There are two factions in the government. There's a faction that believe we can get Samuel Twe, but we can gain at the expense of the judiciary and the state and of the reputation of the Unity Party government. There are Unity Party people who say we can destroy Unity Party's reputation because of Samuel Twe. There are others who say, my man,
we don't care.
We don't care.
Whoever goes down.
There's a Kun factor there.
Okay,
So,
the Kun factor.
Mhm.
In response, Kun said he told the justices and other concerns that winning election is more important
That
than
is
the
it.
government and the rule of law.
That's
This is you talking about.
Well, there's no surprise.
You say something that about the vice president. Is that why he said?
But there's no surprise the vice president was behind the removal of the speaker. But that guy said remove the speaker. We have moved speakers before, right? Eric Snow
Yes. No.
and Alex Tyler.
Yes.
So the removal of the speaker was not the thing for me, because speakers have been removed. The disrespect of the Supreme Court's decision was the thing. So as far as I'm concerned, the budget that was passed was illegal and was treasonous. And those who passed that budget will one day face justice.
We'll go for a break in 1 second, and then we will come back. We are talking to former Minister of Finance and Development,
Well, folks,
Samuel
this is
Twe
Freedom
Jr.,
TV Live
and today is
and host of
something like
other
no holds
affiliate
barred. We haven't even got
TV
started yet, and the
stations.
place is already getting hot.
That's online
Um,
TV station in
We are
Liberia.
talking about the vice president.
My name is
government,
Gerard.
grave allegations here against the vice president, and so let's go
My
for
name
a
is Gerard.
musical break.
My
1
name is
minute, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds, and then okay. Tell the bro, I don't want nobody come inside again.
Yeah, I thought I'd do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
the break is over. Thank you very much. We are back with Samuel Twe Jr., former Minister of Finance and Development. So let me read one more from we all writing about the vice president. I'm interested because vice president holds a very important office, and there are some people who your critics say you're scared of Kun because he has Nima, in his backyard. And so you guys are doing everything to politically destroy him. But this is what you said. My intelligence informs me that the final decision was handed by Judge Figure last Thursday. So you Samuel, you are saying yesterday was not the day that the judge made a decision.
No.
How so?
No, the judge concluded, I think, as far as last Thursday or so, and then he just sent out the notices that decision had been made. But before he did all of that, we already knew from our intelligence that there was a stalemate in the government. There was still some tinkering. There was something going on. But the faction that said we don't care about the rule of law, we were the one who disregarded the Supreme Court opinion.
So this article was just early morning you were putting it out.
I was putting it out there.
Did you think anybody listened to it?
Oh no, the country listened to it. A senator called my brother yesterday. I'm not calling you. And there are people saying I called people names the last time. In this case, there's a difference of course. So you see, a senator called my brother yesterday. My brother told me, but I can't call the senator name. So that's how you protect your souls. When
you are not journalist now.
No. When Kun is talking to McGill, Kun knows he's talking to me. When Kun is talking to Kafia, Kun knows he's talking to me. When Kun is talking, you know what I'm saying? He
I
was
understand what
talking
you're saying. I
because
understand
these are all in his cycle, so there's no secrecy there. When he's talking to Timothy George or Ben Savi, there's no secrecy there for me to protect. There's no confidentiality. But when a senator called my brother to discuss
This is something.
my private thing, it doesn't concern Samuel Toy, and my brother relayed that information to me. I now have an obligation to release it and send it to the senator. The senator called and said, Norris, first of all, this thing here, what we've seen, we heard your brother talking in the joy. My brother said, yes, that's true. He said, but Norris, we can't allow this to happen because I know the ramification. I know the implication for the country if it happens. I don't think we want Samuel that bad. That we can destroy our reputation just for Samuel. I think we're actually elevating Samuel. Some of us will get involved then. Just watch me, we'll get involved. My brother came and
So
said,
why would
I
the
said,
vice
my brother
president,
said,
why vice president should come after you?
no, the vice president believes that, as I said on screen, they lied to the Liberian people a lot to come to power. They say all kinds of things about Samuel Toy. Now they have Samuel Toy in court. The Liberian people are watching. I'm the Minister of Finance for 6 years. They want to link me with corruption. I think one of the mistakes they made is that they're beginning to understand that the Minister of Finance is not an expenditure minister. The public service is beginning to understand that now. The Minister of Finance,
I want you to put it in simple English.
meaning that the Minister of Finance doesn't spend public money.
Okay.
The Minister of Finance is like my mind. You know, my mind used to divide. Me and my brother used to be standing over her.
Yeah,
everybody.
You say blessing to the cook and the divider.
Everybody get it right. When the woman gave a rest to you, and you go and give a rest to your friend, or you go and waste your rent, you can't put it on the woman.
Whatever she already gave it to you.
She gave it to you. So you account for the rest you carry. You're gonna fall, you come back, you waste it, your friend eat more than you come back, you ask you to see the rest, I think you gave everybody the rest. So how Minister of Finance look? Minister of Finance, under the rules, divide the country money to ministries and agencies and branches of government, and they go spend it. The law said the Minister of Money show that everybody account for that money, or that the people who spending the money are the accounting people under the Public Financial Management Law. So when you come in after Samuel Toy and say, I gave National Election Commission money or I gave Minister of Defense money, I might account for it. The law does not allow.
Somebody might argue and say, Minister Toy, if you have fiduciary responsibility and giving people the money, you should question them. Is that the right way to proceed?
Yeah, there's a right way, but there's a limit to that because if I get involved in the expenditure activity, then I will be hooked. Like for example, remember this health. I saw it.
Yes.
The Ebola money. Before the Ministry of Health did Ebola, that $75 that we were paying, there was no money in health. The Minister of Finance, transferred $2 million, I believe, to the Ministry of Health under the instruction of President Weah.
Right.
So listen, the people want to deal with health, give them $2 million. We gave them $2 million. So MPhil began that process with the $2 million. The Minister of Finance can't go to MPhil and say, my man, the $2 million here, bring it left.
Buy computer
let go buy computer, me and you. No, I can't get involved inside. The only thing I can do at a committee level, they will come for my approval and say, Minister, the people say they want to buy face masks. Okay, so I think we need face masks. So please approve for them to go take money to go buy face masks. That's my responsibility there. Once the committee certify that there is a need to spend the money for face masks, I don't get into who procuring the face mask, how much they're paying for. All that when the committee finish decide, I inside. That's the Minister of Finance responsibility there. The Minister of Finance is to show that the auditor go there and audit it and bring a report. I can't get into expenditure. The law is clear. So people are now understanding all of this, and these guys are saying, so the consensus is that, we have Samuel Toy on this thing, he won the case. If the Mensah's case against us, that's Kun's argument. Of course, Samuel Toy, we all know Samuel Toy is an orator. This man stands for the Liberian people, he can talk. And if he's a free man, he has credibility, and they will believe him when he says the government lied. And we will be destroyed in that process. We will be presented as liars. So
they're afraid of you?
Oh yeah, sure. Cool, yeah.
I'm told the Unity Party people, they are strategic people.
No, and that's listen, if Unity Party is not afraid of me, if Unity Party believes that there's no way Unity Party will imperil the judicial. Listen, the whole judiciary system is petrified right now. The bar, the trial judges, all of them are saying our whole practice has been turned upside down because of Samuel Toy. That's the conversation today. But let me tell you the implication of this. It's dangerous for the country. That ruling yesterday by the judge has told all jurors, all future jurors, that a command has been issued. No juror should set any CDC former official free or
go to jail.
Or go to jail. That's the choice that have been given to the whole.
It's a marching order.
It's a marching order. So the verdict said, the overturning said, listen, if you are a juror in a high-profile case involving Mawani Dix, Samuel Twe, any future person, anybody CDC in that, UP in that, any CDC man, and you allow that case, you come and say the people not guilty, we'll send you to jail. So effectively, it undermines the rule of law, and it says all CDC people don't go under that system. That's what has happened here. I'm saying I'm not going to seek remedy through the Supreme Court because I don't trust it there. But that's me. Other people may go. Maybe the only effects I see to this thing is the Supreme Court saying, listen, my brother, I know at the time we're thinking about the implication is too great for the country for us to sustain this, so we have to overturn it. So maybe, who would not normally, Justice Bakakana, who would normally vote, Mrs. the Chief Justice, Mrs. Justice Kaba, because these are 3 justices on the case now. The 2 female justices recused themselves from this case. They have not been on the case. Samara, Justice Wanakoli, because she's related to me in a way through my late friend Thomas now, so that our big sister. So she look at her and say, I'm conflicted. If I'm in a case, I will not be. So she moved herself.
Okay.
Justice.
That's honorable.
Justice Clinton Johnson said she forwarded the case. Even though
for the chamber,
even though there was not a hearing, some people say she technically she should not have recused herself because she didn't hear it. She just took it and forwarded it to the full bench to hear.
There are no primary decisions that affected anything.
So she could still hear it. But I believe the political nature of this, and I'm told she was promised the Chief Justice position, but because she forwarded that case, they passed over her. That's the politics there. You see that? So the woman, she was supposed to be the Chief Justice.
Making a lot of breaking news.
No, she was supposed to be the Chief Justice. I'm saying, my brother, from now on to the 2029, Samuel Twe is going to be firing. What are you talking about? You just stop it. I'm going to be fired. This is what I was not doing. And they can't do anything. They can come for me right now and put me in jail. I will pull my hair up. Listen, I was afraid to go to jail as a criminal, as a rogue, because I didn't steal. That would have destroyed me.
No, wait. Initially,
yes.
If you are going to jail with the prevailing circumstances undecided, you would have felt that you're going to jail as a criminal.
No, if I were found guilty.
Okay, if you are found guilty.
I'm destroyed. Okay. Who is Samuel Twe? This is why Jeremiah telling people, say, listen, once a man found guilty, I will free him. For him, physical incarceration is a physical incarceration, going to jail.
Okay. He
thinks that's a small thing. I am telling him, finding me guilty is a big stake. Because he's telling people, say, in a big stake, be Samuel Twe, I will just begin with a small stake. So that means I will fight to free him. When you find Samuel Twe guilty, you destroy him.
But there are 2 evils now.
Yeah.
You were afraid of being guilty.
That's correct.
Which is a death.
Because I didn't do anything.
But you also face a jeopardy of going to jail now. And because if they try to retry you and you refuse to obey, they can arrest you and put you in jail.
I will go and sleep there. I will go gladly and sleep there.
Do you have a mat?
I have the moral backing and the moral victory. They can't take it from me. Whether it's matter. This battle here is about moral victory. I've had the moral victory. No president, no justice can take that moral victory. The moral victory is that the Liberian people heard that I was not guilty. So it means I didn't steal the money. It means that they were lying on me. That is it. You do any other kangaroo arrangement, just come for me. I'm a free man. I'm not involved with the case. The end of the month, I'll go tell the judge I want to travel. Go see my children and come back. I'm going to present myself to him to go leave the country. Simple. And come back. I'm not running away. But I'm a free man. Let them stop me. That's why I tell the Liberian people, y'all can't put me in jail now because I'm a free man already. That kangaroo arrangement you're doing on your own. So I'm not afraid. Let's be clear. I'm not afraid to go to jail. I was afraid to be defaced as a criminal. The government was trying to do that. Now, look, even other detectives, you know what other detectives would have done if they wanted to destroy me? They would have ensured that I was guilty. In which case they're talking, I can't talk it.
You implement that before it happens, and then they have the latitude and they have the leverage over you. If they were going to make you guilty.
Okay, fine. If they were going to make me guilty, then the question was that they already destroyed me now, politically, reputationally. That guilty for they already destroyed me. The question of whether they free me is not going to be of interest to me, but I will not want to be injured, but I will not have a moral voice in the country. When the Liberian people say I am not guilty, and the government through a kangaroo arrangement where I will not participate in go and say I'm guilty, I know the Liberian people will know, they will say I will not guilty and I will fast. And when the government leave power, we will go to a process where we eliminate this bogus thing that happened yesterday. This thing will not survive on the book of Liberia because it's dangerous. So after the Braga administration, there will be processes where that whole overturning will be scrapped from the judicial record archive. So as if it didn't happen, you will see that because it cannot survive. It cannot survive.
If another administration that you may have part to play, you guys are going to nullify.
We will scrap that from the book. But
as if it didn't happen at all.
The judge, the Supreme Court bar, all those people will fight to wet. They will wet and make sure that tyranny is now over. Let's clean this one. We can't go to a system where when you have somebody acquitted, it means every acquitter stands the risk of being overturned because one juror can just come and say, "Oh, you know what? I like the fact the people bribed me. They bribed me." So and she can call radio. She can say, "Listen, yesterday we went to court. I was part of the jury system." But they found him guilty. But let me tell you the truth, y'all are people.
I don't want to cause you trouble.
I don't want to cause trouble. They buy me. So let them overturn that verdict. That's what's going to happen in the country. That's what can start happening. That person will come to a place where they say that case, it may not be as hard proof a case as Samuel 12. The person will just say, I will go talk it, and then the judicial system will overturn it. And all judges.
But this will serve as a precedent.
That's the precedent we have here. And it's going to put into topsy-turvydom the whole judicial system. Just because of the one side.
We got one more step to go, but then I'll come back to the VP. My last question for the VP. What do you want to say to the VP based on your own public writing? When the VP was sitting before you, what will you tell him?
I'll tell the VP, that Mr. VP, you didn't go to the University of Liberia. We understand that. You didn't, the Gafuans, the Wemapes, the Samuel Twe, the Depuzuo, the Nathaniel McGill, the Thomas Bona, all these people who went to the University of Liberia, you're not with them. So we understand that one. But don't be guilty about that. Don't be afraid of them. They are your friends. You got to your political access through election as a representative. You link up with CDC, and then we all work and made you senator. And then you betrayed CDC and you work your way, luckily, with the rescue mission, you became vice president. Don't see this, that. Don't think that because you're vice president and all those people, if Gafran wants to be president, he's your automatic enemy. If Samuel Twe is not on your side and he got skill, you got to eliminate him. If Wemape is the Minister of Mines and he's not doing your bidding, you got to eliminate Wemape. You can destroy everybody who you are affiliated with so that your one stands up to be president, you will not survive. That's my advice to him publicly.
So you think the vice president is that bad?
I think that's what he's doing. So he's trying to eliminate the entire... The vice president is behaving like this. You know, the vice president likes to tell story. I've been with him. He likes to tell story about small in anecdote. I will use one of his stories here, similarly as he does. He behaves like this guy who comes to the village. He's a poor guy, maybe ugly, like myself, not deserving of the most beautiful girl in the town, right?
Well, you got one beautiful one anyway.
Yeah, we're ugly, but we get other attributes. But this guy I'm talking about here, maybe he didn't get anything, but somehow the richest man's daughter is in love with him, with the guy. I don't know what happened, but this girl is fascinated, and she got this guy who everybody in the village say he's not supposed to be with that girl. So they go to the party. And then all the big boys are talking to the girl. Even though she can lead the guy and go be talking to, and the guy sit down and say, if I sit down here and all these guys are flirting with the girl, they will take the girl from me. So I wanted to be in the party, I will eliminate all of them so my one can be looking at the fine girl. But how Kun behaving? It's a warning to him. Jeremiah Kun, our generation has to be us. If you want to be in this generation, the men and women, you earn your place, you're the vice president, cultivate your relationship based on your competence, not based on fear. Don't fear Twe, don't fear Gafuan, engage Wemape. It will be best for our country. Don't eliminate everybody. Because that position in my brother, let me tell you, we have not been having Nima vice presidents here in this country
for a little while.
It's quite possible the vice president can decide he doesn't want to carry you as vice president of Nima County. It's quite possible if the vice president not carry you.
president.
No, George, we are also don't choose somebody from Nima. Nima goes back to 1985, where everybody go fight for vote. It's quite possible. Think about that universe. If vice president can choose that, if George, we are not carrying somebody from Nima, and I'm not carrying Kun, then there's no need to carry Kun.
You mean if President Boakai decides?
It's decided I don't want to carry Kun.
Okay.
There's a movement
And then
in
George
Nima.
will pick someone from Nima.
No. It doesn't pick someone from Nima also.
Okay.
Then I mean Nima is out of play. Nima is totally out of play.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They lose out in two ways.
So in other words, he should not take the father just because he's from Nima County that it's something that he holding on. Because there's a movement in the party now that's saying the president will not carry him. There's a movement.
I heard the vice president once saying, I don't have to be president. I don't have to be vice president. You think you believe that?
No, I don't believe the way he's acting.
Okay.
Well, you listen to Women Pay, right?
I did.
You listen to Women Pay. Then the next thing he went.
They just made peace.
No, forget that thing. There's no.
Samuel 12, you can't tell me that. They made peace with him and his brother.
There's no peace there.
I don't know, it's my brother or big brother.
No, there's no peace in nothing. Forget it. Just take it from me. There's no peace. You take bread from somebody's mouth. You disable somebody's family. You destroy somebody politically trying to. And then you go sit down to the person. Jeremiah Kun. Don't do that. I slept at Jeremiah Kun's house. So Jeremiah Kun can treat your friends like that.
That may give you $3,000.
Yeah. Don't forget about that one. But what I mean is,
He's a good friend of yours. He should be.
look, listen, he says good things about me. The thing, they may tell people say they put one visa, not your visa, I will just slap your wrist. They're slapping my wrist is actually the destruction of me. So him slapping my wrist, me, I'm a bit guilty.
I get the picture.
Yeah, let me just be guilty. Then I will.
Yeah, may just be guilty. Then at least.
Then I will move it from there. Then we'll come back.
More.
When I become, he tell people say when I become president, Samuel 12 will be one of the closest to me. I don't doubt that. Let's be honest with you. But he's Machiavellian. He wants to destroy Samuel 12 politically.
No, Machiavelli. I know the story of Machiavelli.
You know Machiavelli.
I know.
He destroyed Women Pay already. If Women Pay is not a minister of mines, so this guy sees Women Pay as a minister of mines. Goshin Pay Gawan. Women Pay is on the IMCC, the committee that decides investment in the country, in natural resource sector.
Yes.
Women Pay is there. Goshin Pay Gawan is there. Well, two vote right there. Gawan, go out. So his Machiavellian strategy is to say, let me move Women Pay. I can rather deal with Gawan. Right now, I'm telling you that the fight now is to get Gawan from there. Gawan may not survive as the Minister of Finance of the next year. I'm honest. I'm saying I'm hearing that he's thinking about leaving because of these fights. I will encourage Gawan not to leave, to stay there and fight for the country. But I'm hearing that
would be a blow.
It would be a blow to Boakai, but it's not a blow to Kun.
Yeah, it's going to be. Let's go for a break and put my microphone down there. Let me see.
We're talking politics now. We're talking. Someone comes out talking.
No, somebody. What a man drink. I thought we got it. Somebody.
Not yet.
I mean, I just look at me. You're not drinking nothing. Somebody open it.
Well, folks, this is Freedom TV Live.
Yeah. Open it for him. Somebody open it for him. Open it for him. I want drink too. You want me to get you some water? I think I can get you the water. You're getting the water too. Let him drink some water. When you finish, put it down instead of putting it on the table.
Well, folks, Freedom TV Live. We're here.
We'll go to the phone in 30 minutes. 30 minutes to the time.
So, folks, in 30 minutes time, we're going to the
I'm
phone.
bringing you there.
No. Bringing you. What rule is something? The thing is talking that. Okay, we're ready. Yeah, this is Gibson Jeru here with a special interview with a special friend and a special guest, Samuel Tweg Jr., the former Minister of Finance and Development Planning. And before he came here today, he said fire was going to blaze on blaze. I don't even know if the blaze is not even down yet. I will go to something. I want your voice on the drug situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I want us to conclude this issue about. I want you to assert again the constitutional malaise that engulf the entire jury process. I know you went in detail to talk about the harm it caused, but you said before we came to this point that this particular the detention or the jailing of these jurors is a marching order. And I want you to tell us, I mean, does that mean if anybody goes to sign up for jury trial, or when they call a civil servant for jury trial, there might be a fear that they cannot reach certain conclusion for certain defendants?
One of it is to serve in a jury, as a juror.
Uh-huh.
The day before yesterday, he was at the house. One of my boys, one of the 12 boys. He said he talked to his boss. He said, boss, I close assignment 12. I can't serve the thing. The man said, go tell the people to the code there that you close assignment 12. So they will not put it there, but I got to send you because of the system we have. So he came to me, he said, the way I see the people, Minister, of course, when I go serve, I get on jury, me as CDC man, I will lean that way. But the way I see the government proceeding, carrying juror there, they won't put juror in jail. What thing will put me in the jury business?
But we don't even know how
I will just go there and just tell the people, I will just tell them something so I can't serve. I will just say, I close assignment 12. So you're moving for
fear that if you acquit someone, the government does not like.
He's saying this before the verdict, but he's just thinking that the whole system right now is a mess. He doesn't want to. There's not the only way he can serve CDC to be on the jury. So he said, "I'll just go there and tell them something so they can take me." And we have a jury system. Maybe part of this Samuel 12 thing should bring about some reform in the jury system, because the jury system is based on the civil service of the country. So that puts the government, whether it's a CDC government, an ANC government, or a UP government, in the advantage, because they control the civil service. Citizens who are not in the civil service can serve as juror. We got to change that. We got to stop that. I would rather see a system where some of the jurors are civil servants, some of the jurors are paper writers, some of the jurors are medical doctors, some of the jurors are PhD. I would rather see a mix, so that the government doesn't have exclusive control over all 15. As it is right now, the government has control. So one of the other subliminal messages of this whole thing is that if you don't perform, you can lose your job. We'll find a way and discomfort you, make you uncomfortable, so that you either lose your job. So people, those are subliminal messages. So that those are the signals that are going. So one, you can't free Mawani Dix. Yeah, you can already see that now. Mawani Dix in court. So the juror now are being given the martial order to find Mawani Dix guilty, even though Mawani Dix should not be guilty based on the evidence.
The government has said it there.
The government said it there. The other thing the government can also do is start manipulating the jury system such that, listen, when we just go, say the country is so divided, CDC, UP, there's a chance that you go and close your eye and take 20 questions, 10 that CDC, 10 that UP, when you carry them there. So that's a hung trial. Naturally, probabilistically, there should be a hung trial because the country is so polarized right now. Government, knowing that polarity, can consciously decide that we want the people going to be only United Party people, and they can manipulate that. So it's no longer going to be random. I just told you it's still random because somebody who's close to Samuel 12 just got a paper yesterday.
Correct.
So it means
that's a good description.
It's a random process. I believe that it's random because he came to me, he showed me the paper. He said, "My man, so that means it's still a blind." The government can, coming out of the case, decide to make it not to be blind. They can start working and saying, listen, all jury managers must be exclusively die-hard CDC partisans. UP partisans. We want to macro-manage that whole process so that before you go. But the unfortunate part about that is that most of those people may be rejected, but there's a limit because the defendant guy, I think about 15, maybe about 5 or 10 times to reject. He could run out of that rejection and it overwhelm the jury system with only United Party people. So we need to change that. And I will propose to President Weah, to the broader opposition, Alexander Cummings, to Musa Ability, that opposition parties look at the jury system in the country as a major platform item to safeguard justice in the country.
Your description make the government an evil genius occupant.
That's why the government just apply evil genius on Samuel 12 in broad daylight. Listen, even you love Samuel Doe, right?
Oh yeah, I did.
You love the
Yeah,
man.
I did.
He was a dictator. We fought against him.
Yeah,
All that one.
yeah.
But even Samuel Doe would not have done this. Samuel Doe will convict Ellen Johnson Sirleaf through the Jewish system or through a tribunal system he put on that place she will be convicted at. He will not go and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf win, then he come back and say, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, I will retry you. Doe was too.
You are telling us Samuel Doe will be more democratically rule of law abiding.
That's correct.
Than Joseph Boyka government.
Because Samuel Doe would have convicted me in the court of law. So in other words, the jurors would have said Samuel Doe is guilty.
But that makes Joseph Boyka government draconian the way you describe it.
That's what I'm saying. So there are two benefits for Joseph Boyka government. If Samuel Doe is not guilty under Joseph Boyka government, the Justice Minister at his press conference says Joseph Boyka walks out as a hero. So this whole argument about he committed treason by not passing the budget by disrespecting is overturned. He had an opportunity to balance the reputational damage that happened in the Funaki case with the Samuel Doe case. They still ignore that and say we'll continue to be draconian and opprobrious against the Liberian people, and that's what is happening.
Well, we're gonna go to our next topic because we'll soon be taking calls, and you're gonna interface with our public. But I just want to ask you this: the other topic I sent you, drugs.
Yeah.
When you guys were in power, they said George Weah was a Kush user. He brought Kush, $100 million drug case. What is your perspective today about the drug situation we have?
You know, I will say this. The greatest opportunity President Joseph Boyka had to destroy and obliterate and eliminate the CDC was in the space of drugs. The whole drug team. And to do so in 6 months. He didn't have that opportunity in macroeconomics. He didn't have that opportunity in agriculture. He didn't have that opportunity in jobs, obviously you can see, in poverty reduction. Any president who takes office, and it's true for George Weah, he's coming back.
Yes.
The greatest opportunity to impact the Liberian people's mind that a president can turn something around quick, that is the space of drugs. If the president said that and said, no drug will enter this country. I want personal leadership in my office. Mr. This, I think appointing the low-level security people, the drug business is so serious that I want to show the Liberian people that in 3 months, they will see. In 6 months, Boyka could have succeeded in transforming the drug space and making CDC look like nothing. And that was the 150, that would have been the 150-day deliverable. Instead, they made a woman to go say, no car will get stuck, all that stuff. So they lost the opportunity. The first thing that happened is that the whole 9 months of his first year, he had to suspend the DEA, what's his name?
Yeah.
All that stuff. It's a lost opportunity.
Yeah.
Today,
A.B. Krumah and all of
that. We moved from a situation from an opportunity where the president could have transformed the drug space in 6 months to a situation
he still has
to a situation where he has worsened the drug tobacco in the country.
Wait. What are we talking about? Worsened?
Worsened.
President Boyka worsened?
We were playing with drug entering the country
Yes.
to the tune of 19 million, even 100 million, all that stuff. We're now moving under Boyka now.
To 300 million.
I think it's understated, man. I think that's 600 going. What are you talking about? So that's a worsening situation. I saw Joseph Boyka Jariba post talking about we are now going after big boss. Let me tell you, again, here's an opportunity for the president. Here's an opportunity for the president. I can show you the opportunity. The president.
That's a free advice.
Yeah, I want to solve the country's problems. The country problem should be solved. I'm not interested in the country failing and the Liberian people. The opportunity he has right now is to say that all that drug that was discovered yesterday came through the port of entry. It didn't come through porous border.
No.
It came straight through the national port of authority, through the free port. Mainly through the free port. So if the president wants to show his leadership right now, would say, okay, forget about 600 million they're talking about, forget about we are 100 million, forget about the 19 million. Let me tell you something. No drug will enter through free port of America. Joseph Boyka will go sit down there. The whole government shit. No drug will enter the country. Is he prepared to do that? He hasn't done that. So that is why I'm saying everything happening is a joke. Because we now know where the drug came from. It came from through the port. So let's ask the question. Oh no, where you say, okay, 100 million came. We busted. So you can't boast about busted because we busted. The question is not, so this is where people are going to say, listen, CDC and UP can make claim that CDC not good, but UP has not shown any superiority over CDC because they say CDC brought, it just gets worse under UP. If CDC were busting 100 million drug, UP is now busting 600 million. So how is that an improvement? How is busting 100 million mean you had a news title? So it was harder to come in. Now it's free, so more coming in. So we are worsening.
And then what really surprises me, how are they not catching it before it arrives? Why would they always go to a house?
Because they are connected to it, and the president is not showing the leadership to end it. Simple as that. And I'm saying, Walker begin 3 years from now, if he doesn't end it, this is an open order to President George Manuel Weah. If you come back to power, in 6 months' time, a drug comes in the country. It's a recipe to say the CDC should not come back to power. I swear on that one. Clear. Drugs should not come back in this country. There's an argument that France can. Listen, it's just a solvable thing. In America, I understand it's a complex place. Most of the farms around there is complex. France or Europe. In Liberia, it's manageable because we have a smaller country and we got a port of entry. We can zero in and make sure nothing comes there. But look where we are. Freeport of Monrovia, RIA are gateways to drug coming in and drug leaving. So it comes into the Freeport and then it goes through the RIA. Look what was happening in the 19 million case. That 19 million, they say what? Several shipments, several stuff are flown out. And there's a whole syndicate. And the government can tell you that they don't know what's going on. The government knows everything. It should arrest everybody. The president today can make sure no drug come in this country if he's ready. But he's not ready. So they cannot boast of doing better for drugs. So they fail massively in the drug space right now. They fail massively in the fight against corruption. So the Liberian people know today that the fight against corruption is cherry picking. Abdullah Kamara from LTA was accused of taking government money and financing Waka's campaign.
Yeah.
The other day, 12 jurors set him free, and they took him to Buchanan where nobody paying attention. The media ain't covering anything. But they didn't even put the cherry in the pot, and they get him free.
No, this one is funny. He is in Monrovia, and they relocated the case to Buchanan.
That's correct. So they said, man, let's move it here for the glare of the public. Gibson Cherry there, get V-Mug, Senator Weatherspoon there, Julius J there, A.B. Weir there. The more BB, look at A.B. Weir, he said, all A.B. Weir today, after he called A.B. Weir was busted. So y'all carry the thing here, where A.B. there, before they get it, because if I'm a bastard, they're not paying too much attention, it will drop. So that's what happened, because the man is close to the president. So the Liberian people now know that corruption now, the United Party attempt to fight corruption was also squandered. President Bouakai once said, he used the word squander, but squander now is being applied in his administration. He squandered the drug opportunity he had. He has squandered the opportunity to fight corruption. Let me tell you CDC's success in accountability. I would boast, President Weah would boast. Before CDC, all audits of the consolidated account were disclaimed. Disclaimer is the worst audit grade. It's not any amount of grade. What disclaimer mean? The auditor looks at the audit and say, I beg you.
Yeah.
I wash my hand for them. I ain't even able to. I can't make sense of anything. That was the report before CDC came to power. Disclaimer. The auditors
proceeding from the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government.
They were all the consolidated were disclaimed. The auditor is basically saying the whole revenue structure, the whole expenditure structure, I can't make sense of it. Y'all go ahead and do it. CDC came and worked with the auditor. We moved from disclaimer and we went to what we call adverse opinion. The adverse opinion that you hear the United Party people talking, oh, CDC got adverse opinion. Before CDC, United Party was getting disclaimer. Then we managed, okay, like you go on probation. You move from probation, then you come to, you fail.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You go on probation so that you will make progress, then you fail again.
Yeah, that's correct. So you move from disclaimer and then you come to an adverse opinion. Disclaimer is worse. It's the worst grade.
Yeah, the adverse opinion. You mean
Now the worst grade now on the car. The other one part, you're not even on the car. They say, you want grade, you say you're too bad. You're not supposed to sit down in class because you can't understand it. Now you come to the point where they say you can fail. The other one part, they say you can't even fail. You're worse. You can't
we're not taking you.
we're not taking you because you will not even know how to fail. That's the disclaimer there. The other one said you're making 50. The other one part, you're making 10, but the one part, leave them. We know how to put grade on you. You're out of the grade system. But with 50, 45, 60, you're on the grade, adverse opinion. Then we move from adverse opinion, we went to qualified opinion. The 100% of the 90 that are unqualified, that's where the country should go. So we structured that whole thing about consolidated audit at CDC. What did we do also? We stood LACC up to prosecute. The prosecution, you see LACC prosecuting me.
Yeah.
As Samuel 12 fought for it to happen. The man who I arrested today is vexed with me because he said, I the one took him from arrest, from LACC, working with the IMF and the American people, so they can bring a whole new team and move him from there. So that the big man get with me to this Samuel 12, my Maryland brother. That the big get with me. Because we made sure he left the place and we brought in new, because the rule was working with the IMF on my back. And that LACC was tied to my IMF program. So I was serious. I told the IMF, the president has agreed that even he as president, cannot fire LACC people that have strongly made a law. He will have to go to the Senate, where the senator will have a vote of no confidence in the director of LACC or the commissioners
to be able to
remove it. The president, as his presidential authority, cannot remove an LACC people that we made our law. I made a major contribution to the IMF pressure on my IMF program. And like LACC is prosecuting me today. I scared of accountability. I'm not scared. So the reputation of the CDC government will be stake on accountability. We fought. We fought to improve the accountability system that you know about the benefit for today. We provided the most money to LACC. Go to the budget. The money we provided to LACC, you became equal A. We provided significant money to GAC. Let's look at the fiscal outing. Dallas don't cut the fiscal outing for money to LACC in 2023 and compare it to 2024. You will see how much the CDC government gave LACC. $63 million, I think. The following year, LACC started receiving smaller money. We were funding accountability thing in this country. So nobody can say we're afraid of accountability. Okay? So the Unity Party had an opportunity to follow the direction of CDC, and that police assignment where did something wrong. Go and look for the evidence, bring it to the jurors, use the legal system, but don't use your brute manipulative power as a government to rub it in the face of all the Liberian people just because you're afraid of Samuel 12, just because you're afraid of CDC. You destroy CDC headquarters.